Okay guys, as we talked about this week, I've got a lot of collie drills that we do. A lot of the sticks, the knives, the double sticks, double dagger. And in order to get to that point where we can really free flow with the sticks, you have to start somewhere. And where I recommend starting are with the basic single stick drills. Once you go to single stick, then you'll do double stick. But the Sinawali or the double stick are a little more complicated. They take a little more coordination. So the very first point or first part that I recommend you start with is with the basic single stick patterns. And by patterns, you'll see a lot of what exists in Collie goes in X's, and they divide things into different sectors. But what Collie does is it really teaches you body mechanics. Notice how with my stick, with this first downward figure eight, where I'm doing a forehand and a backhand, I'm using my body and it's teaching me different lines of attack. I'm teaching this line of attack and this line of attack. But more importantly, I'm learning body mechanics. So the first pattern that I want you to learn is a downward figure eight. Very simple. Notice how with my other hand, my support hand, I'm keeping it back. If this were a blade or a heavier blade, I can use it as a support or sometimes to get more power. But also if I have a dagger later on, we keep this out of the way and we use the opposite hand as another weapon. Okay? So you'll notice I'll keep it here a lot as a guard to keep it out of the way, but this hand will come into play later on. So, first line, first pattern, downward figure eight, very simple. Just shifting your weight back and forth. Next one is your upward figure eight, just the opposite. In Collie, as well as any martial art, when you can go one way, this way, see I can go the opposite way. Just like the downward figure eight and go upward figure eight. Okay, slicing, being precise with my strokes. Next one is down and up one side of the X. Okay, there's different names for these angles. I'm not too concerned about the names. I'm concerned that you learn the angle of attack and you learn the body mechanics behind it, because later on we're going to free flow with a lot of these drills. You can do one side of the X, you can do the opposite side. Okay? And I suggest using these as a warm-up. 5-10 minutes a day. Warm up your shoulders. And get you familiar with these different lines. So, quick review. Downwards. Upwards. You can make long strokes like this. You make it really tight. Okay? You want to mix it up. One side of the X, opposite side of the X. Next pattern I want you to learn is a circular motion. It comes around like this to the head, horizontally. So we're down to goes around this way. So once again, notice how this will kind of stop my momentum and I'll use it as a guard. Go around my head here. One side, I can go the reverse direction, this way. Comes around, gets on this angle. Okay? If I can go horizontally this way and this way, then I can go vertically. This is what if I say open, this is like an open guard, your arms are open. This would be more of a closed guard where it comes from the backhand side. Let's start with the open side. So I can hack downwards. Just like I was hacking if I had a machete, I'd hack like this. Hack on the clavicle. Just coming, hitting, drawing back. Okay? If I can go down, then I can come up to the groin or to the chin this way. Might not have as much power, but if I have a blade and I slice up, it's going to do the job. Really more for coordination, to teach you different angles that you don't normally get with empty hands. Okay? So if I have the open side, finally I have the closed side. Say I come down like this. A lot of times we use this to whip the hand, to defang the snake, to hit the hand. Okay? So once again, if I go down, I can go up this way. Okay? So, quick. Downward figure eight. Upward figure eight. One side of the X, other side of the X. We've got dandos around the head. The other way. We have open side. We have up on the open side. And we have downward on the closed side and up on the closed side. Now, the next one, we call this an abanico. Kind of just hits on both sides of the head, or it can hit down in front to the hand. Okay? This is good for the shoulder warm-up. And also we can hit on one side of the X and hit on the other side of the X like this. So the tip's hitting here, it's hitting down on this side. Right? And we can do the same thing on the opposite side. This way. Down in front, vertical, one side of the X, other side of the X. Okay? The other two things that I want to teach you are what's called a Wittig, which is a hit and retract, and a Loptic, which goes all the way through. Notice on the downward figure eights, these are all Loptics, right? I can do a Wittig. I can Wittig here. I can Wittig, Loptic, Wittig. Wittig, Loptic, Wittig. So these are ways to where you can start free-flowing with your stick to get the coordination. So what I want is for you to warm up with the downward figure eights, upwards. One side of the X, other side. Redondos. Redondos the other way. Open side. Up, down on the closed side, up on the closed side. Do your abanicos. And then you're going to repeat the same thing with your good hand, or your opposite hand, your left hand. Okay? Upward figure eights. Downwards. Downwards. So you're going to repeat that whole series. Get very good with both your right and left hand, or your weak hand, your dominant hand, and your weak hand. Some of you are left-handed. One thing that Kali will do will make you ambidextrous. Okay, sure, you'll have one hand that's still going to be weak, a little bit weaker than your other, but you'll be surprised at how you can switch leads. Once you get the hands, you get the sticks, especially when we start doing double sticks, your hands are really going to become educated on all these different lines. So work that. That's just the beginning of some of the drills, but I've got to have you get those coordination drills down. So downwards, upwards, one side X, other side, redondos, abanicos, right and left-handed. That's the first part. Don't worry about your footwork yet. We're going to cover that next. Okay? Good job.